if you've not met my friend Kinky, I'll tell you about her a little later. Right now, I want you to introduce yourself as usual on Unity Africa. Type in the comments who you are, where you're watching from. Today, we're going to be doing something amazing.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth. It's a privilege to be on your show, and thank you again. My late husband and my 3 children. I have 3 boys, 16, 10, and 11 years.
Abdel Kuta. Can you imagine that? What a cool. So you have been to his hometown. So Lucia, thank you for joining us.
My time with the woman, I would say, was what sparked my entrepreneurial journey for them. So that is how the sewing business started in our living room.
Man, your story is like you went to a whole new university after university, right? You went through different courses. You went year 1 was bead making in Nigeria. Year 2 was bead making in Accra. Year 3 was
in between these two, in between the beads and the fashion, I can tell you that I started selling Kinky. It wasn't rosy. It wasn't rosy, but I think it prepared me for today. And I'm excited I went through that university, as you would say.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And if you're out there and you're inspired by this story, I want you to just say something to Baduba, because her story is the typical story of someone who comes out strong, someone who comes out ready to face real life. Because in a real life, it's not like the answers to a mathematics question. There's no certainty, right? It's not like the answers to a maths question. Uncertainties arise, and you now have to pull up those things you've learned from the University of Life in order to keep thriving. And things like Kinky. Right? So I'm just going to show it once again. So this is Baduba's website, and this is amazing stuff she does. You can visit baduba.mbamode.com. Very impressive. Fashion. So you're not going to stop her, right? You're not going to be able to stop her. So I want you to tell us a little more about your story into making these dolls.
But we wanted to be different. Everybody, like if you take 10 people who are into fashion, about 9 people are doing clothes. And it's general. How can we differentiate our business from others? We are blacks. We can't do anything about it. So how can you accept yourself? If you see a doll like this, if you see this doll and you are black and the doll is black and this is your hair, yes, and this is the doll's hair. The doll has fingers. So first when you have a doll that looks like Kenneth.
That's interesting, right? Yeah. You said something powerful about identity, accepting who we are as a people, identity. And that kind of like dovetails into one of my next questions, which is, someone sees this doll or the doll you are holding and says it's black, it's offensive. Do you have that kind of feedback that, why do I want a black doll? Is there something wrong with it being black? I mean, are people like, black doll? What is your experience with that? An extension of colonialism. Just we'll be back in a second or two. All right, welcome back.
I am a practical person. I remember in secondary school, I told my father I wanted to stop secondary school because he forced me to learn in accountancy. I developed my career while I was in the secondary school, and I didn't want to waste time. However, I had to toe by his line. I'm becoming an author very soon, just like you.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm schooling. I see education as everything. If you are not,
it's almost like anticipating the future, and I think that's what you are doing. Some people might perceive it as being scared or being paranoid, but it's basically anticipating what happens if this happens. And that's what we do in strategy, really. Anticipate what happens. I like the Baduba name, actually.
Yeah.
With a smile. With a smile. Despite all the challenges, some of which she's sharing today, she comes at me with a smile, and that's so powerful. And Elvis says, I said that. He's referring to the fact that he said, continuing to make white dolls is a racist agenda.
Yeah, we had a problem, and in fact, it was a learning process for me. We had a batch of dolls we had made for a client in the UK, and you can see that there is no lips on this. It doesn't have any lips, any lips, and I'm yet to do that. This is a new one we've produced. So in the past, I do the creative part, the face, the eyes, and then the lips, and we would use red paint, acrylic paint, for the lips. And this particular batch went to the UK, and it wasn't accepted. In fact, we lost money on that. And so I asked the person told us, no, you cannot send us dolls with red lips. So I had to research on that. Well, when whatever you are into, whatever you are producing, you need to know more about that product. You need to know how the market receives it. You need to know what you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do.
There was a story about, I think, one of the ambassadors to Japan who went to give the emperor or an official in Japan a process. He says doll making is a spiritual process, and you leave a bit of your essence in the doll. I mean, these are things that we have to test in labs. How do you separate bad energy before the dolls get sold? All right, tell us about that. Is there anything about that?
I would say yes. I see my dolls as part of my family, and so yes. There is that spiritual attachment to my dolls. And don't be surprised if perhaps next year you hear of Baduba dolls talking. Because that's the goal.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And if you listen to her for the few minutes I've been talking, you will realize that this is real. This is authentic. This is from her heart. And it's something that should go out there.
So mainly we do B2B, business to businesses. So we sell directly to individuals, but that isn't the goal. The goal is to sell to businesses. So we have a number of businesses that we produce for.
And then Dr. Lushala says, well done. There is there's a name called Mba in Igbo.
Thank you, Dr. Lushala.
Awesome. Right.
Yes, Auntie Doris. nice to have you here. I owe you a lot. Everybody has been given a purpose. The moment you set foot on this earth, it means that you have been created for a purpose. And so if you have identified yourself as an entrepreneur, then that means that you are producing something to meet a need. You are just not producing, but your product should meet a need of someone. And you won't have it that easy. You will struggle. Yesterday, I had a call from an entrepreneur who is way older than me. She called me and said she wasn't even sure if I'll be willing to speak to her. And after we had talked for close to 30 minutes, she was like, MBA, you are a nice person. You've given me so much. And I said, yes. I have been given, and so I also have to give. Entrepreneurship is no joke. So I had to learn the hard way. I had to forfeit so many things. For many years, I wasn't buying clothes for myself. For many years, I denied myself of so many life things that could make me good in life because I wanted to grow the business. The little money that comes, I have to put it back in the business. The little money, I have to put it back. And I was fortunate to have somebody I call an angel who kept investing in us. May God bless her heart. She knows that is what happened to me. And so entrepreneurship is no joke. If you want to go into it and you started, dedicate yourself, learn, and then, I would say that's it. And when it comes to preserving our culture, I would say there are core values we have in our culture. And there are meanings behind all our cultural creations. I want to show something to you so you can see this, for example. This is a giraffe. So this is a giraffe. But when you look at this part, Kenneth, what do you see?
Yeah, wow. That's amazing. I think I have to come and buy this one.
And I think that's all I have to
We
say.
could talk for 3 hours, really.
Yes, we could.
Talk on.
When you leave me, I will talk and talk and talk.
And Kinky has been here with us, and you probably know that Theresa has also shown many of her dolls. What's our doll's name? What's her name?
Okay, so this is Baduba.
Baduba.
Yes.
Okay, Baduba. Yes, it's the same character.
It's the same thing, yeah. So we named them according to their hair. This is also Kojo. So this is like a family. I don't know if you can see. It's like a 3 generation